It was this audience in Fort McMurray that heard what Brian Jean called a joke as he was speaking about pushing for new senior housing in the town.
I've been beating this drum for 10, 11, 12 years now, so I will continue to beat it, I promise. But it's against the law to beat Rachel Notley. So.
A moment later, he apologized, sort of.
Now, I have to compliment that woman, and I shouldn't have said what I said. I think Rachel Notley deserves a hand of applause for you, John.
Tougher to say the actual words, "I'm sorry."
What I did say, and it was totally inappropriate, obviously, and that's why I retracted it immediately and apologized.
Today, that wasn't enough for this minister.
That kind of comment, regardless of whether it's serious or a joke, it's totally out of touch with what Albertans want to see from their leaders.
Rachel Notley has faced inappropriate comments, even death threats, since becoming Premier. Though she's been diplomatic about it, she's made it clear she's noticed. In a discussion on The National this summer, she had this to say about the current state of politics.
It is a number of people engaged in civil discourse, both in the U.S. as well as in Canada, who are changing the way we engage with each other. So whether it's misogynist language against women or language against people in other minority groups.
Her fellow Premier, Christy Clark, pointed to a more specific discrimination faced by women.
You'll often be in a meeting, or at least I will, and I'll find men who come to the meeting, senior people who aren't part of the government, who will speak to the men in the room rather than to the Premier when they're meeting with me.
For this Women's Studies director, that type of behavior shows just how tough many women still have it in politics.
We are training our women politicians to put up with gender and sexual abuse. I think it's time we start training our male politicians to stop dishing it out.
As for Notley herself, the Premier did not address last night's incident, but her office says she accepts Jean's apology. Rafi Bujikanian, CBC News, Calgary.